Please join me in singing our school song. Guiding light and leading star, watching its glory where'er we are. Even though we sing like praise to the sky, we can never repay you some to thy name our hearts respond, and live to remembrance of comrades fond. All this and more you mean to us, why? Because we love you so much. Thank you. You may be seated. After you for a few years, you'll know it.
Good morning. Welcome to our annual NAACP Cultural Awareness event. This year was the first time that we tried to do a dual event, to have the same assembly for the junior high as well as the high school. So you'll have to bear with us if we run into some glitches. Many thanks to the junior and the high school ROTC and to Miss Kaylee Moss for the opening activities. Before I actually begin, I would like to take this opportunity to thank and acknowledge those that assisted with the production of this event today. Many thanks to Ms. Myers, Mr. Wilkin, Major Swepson, Top Kitchen, Ms. Lindsay Hurst, Mr. Mazzarco, Ms. Groves, Mr. Josh Littlebear, Ms. Chepko, Ms. Leslie Bennett, Mr. Markley, Ms. Jackie Johnson, Ms. Lyons, Coach Beecham, Ms. Barbara Nero, Mr. Donnie Nero, Ms. Tuttle, Ms. Gish, Ms. Lawson, Ms. Flo Pasatopa, Ms. Cindy Harden, Ms. Anna Newson, Ms. Savannah Newson, and that light is in my eye. Mr. Stamper, Mr. Drew Dixon, Mr. Shibley.
Move the light.
Turn it off. We can't see up here. I can't. Thank you. You have to let me get refocused now. As an organization, we appreciate all your input and considerations. Without your support, we wouldn't be able to exist. Thank you. Black History Month owes its start to Dr. Carter G. Woodson. He founded the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, which organized Negro History Week. The week grew into Black History Month, officially proclaimed in 1976. Today we have set aside this isolated moment to not only tune in to Black history, but to also place some focus on cultural awareness. One of the goals of our NAACP chapter is to promote diversity without prejudice and to demonstrate respect. Black history is deeply rooted with religion, strong beliefs, and faith. Believing that struggles and challenges are only temporary, there's always hope. Today we celebrate as we proclaim that we are accepting and realizing our role in society. Even with challenges, we often apply some humor, like a light, pace and reposition ourselves and then carry on. Placing emphasis on some of the accomplishment of people of color. We would like to acknowledge unity and actually demonstrate that we are linked to each other through partnering organizations. We would also like to acknowledge diversity. We truly have overcome some adversity and pooled our strengths to bring you today's presentation. At this time, I would like for the officers of our organization to stand and be recognized when I call your name. Co-parliamentarians Josiah West and Silas White. Project Coordinator and Public Relations, Dariana Tucker. Secretary Treasurer, Michaela Williams. Co-Vice Presidents, Cameron Pete and Randy Ackerman. And President, Kay Cherie Meggs. The hymn, Lift Every Voice and Sing, was written by James Weldon Johnson as a poem and is known to many as the national anthem for African Americans. It places emphasis on the history of people of color, which includes many of their triumphs and their struggles. It was first performed in 1900 by a children's choir in celebration of President Lincoln's birthday in honor of their speaker, Booker T. Washington. But here today to perform this same poem as a song is our own Miss Jackie Johnson, accompanied by Bruce Wilkins. Shirley Ann Ballard Nero was born and reared in Clearview, one of the historically original 13 all-black towns of Oklahoma, where she attended school until it closed in 1964. She graduated from Walika High School in 1968. Ms. Nero attended East Central State College, Northeastern State College, Tulsa Junior College, and Oklahoma State University, and has earned a BS in home economics with a minor in sociology and psychology, a BA in social studies, and an MA in history. Ms. Nero taught secondary social studies classes at Sapulpa Public Schools, Forum Public Schools, Tulsa Community College, and Connors State College. In her retirement, she has served on several state and community boards. She continues to serve her community by organizing community field trips to various historical places in Oklahoma, fundraising activities, and many church activities. She writes newsletters for the family and the community, and writes weekly a newspaper page for the Hughes County Tribune. At this time, I'd like to share with you Ms. Shirley Nero.
Good morning. Good morning to all of you. Thank you for having me here. I'm so happy to be back in Sapulpa. As they mentioned, and I taught in Sapulpa many years ago. I came here in 1971 with my husband, and we were here until 2000. And I taught history. And when I got the call to come to Sapulpa and speak to you today, and it brought back a lot of memories of being here. And when they told me the theme, similarities, not differences, chieftains different, but still equal. And I thought about this song, Playing for a Change by Buddy Guy, Skin Deep. And it just kind of, you know, in a world today that we have, that we're all the same. We look at people sometimes and we think about the color of their skin, and we think about cultural awareness, but we all come from the same place. It's only skin deep. We're all the same inside. We come as individuals. We have different personalities. But looking at the outside, but we have to look at the inside and see what we're all about. And I thought about that all of the years that I've taught here in this school, and the students that I have, and the students that are now teachers here in this school that I taught, and some of you that are students, are children, or grandchildren of the students that I taught, and I've met some of you, and I've also come in contact again with some of the students that are not teachers and administrators, that it brings back tears to my eyes sometimes to think about, that I've gone back and treated all of the students that I've had equally. At least I've tried to. And hopefully, when you look at a video like that and you think, everyone's the same and you treat them all the same way. The words to the song, I've been around for a while and I know wrong from right. And when you lived as long as I have, and you lived as long as some of the other people that are here in this audience, you learned a long time ago that things are not always black and white. You can't judge a book by its cover. We all got to be careful how we treat one another. Out there in this big wide world where you're going to meet all kinds of folks, and it comes down to just one rule, that you treat everybody just the way you want them to treat you. Skin deep, all underneath, we're all the same. You treat people the way you want them to treat you. Just as the theme of this program, underneath it all, we're all the same and we're equal, but on the outside, we may appear to be different, but if you're looking at one's appearance, don't just look at their appearance, look inside. The day you walked into this school building, you came here as an individual with your own identity, your own uniqueness, and your own personality. You represent different races, different groups, different languages. And with your differences, you possess similarities, which you bring together as groups. You belong to different social groups, athletic teams, and organizations, but you all work together to become one body in this school. You have one goal in mind. You want to become a chieftain. You want to graduate as a chieftain. That's your one goal. And as they were talking about, and as you hear throughout this program, they're going to be talking about Martin Luther King and some of the ideas that he has. But I want to share with you some words of wisdom that I've borrowed from Martin Luther King. And he spoke this wisdom, these words of wisdoms, to one group, the whole group in the United States or any other nation. He advocated equality among all nations, among all people. And the first one of the sayings that I'm going to go over, the first one, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep running forward. Keep moving forward. One of the most important things in your life is that you set goals and you continue to move forward every day to better yourselves. At your age, time may seem to move a little slow, but moving forward a little each day leads to success that you will be proud of later on. You only live once, so why waste your time or your life standing still? By all means, keep moving. Each day, one step or crawl at a time will lead to success that you will have no regrets later on. Making a difference in life or the lives of others begins with you. Secondly, our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. If you have something in your life that matters, now is the time to do it. Whenever something matters to you, or you find something that's important to you, believe in it. And you should always stand up for what you believe in. What would life be like if no one stood up for the things that matter, or voiced your opinion on things that are important to you? You have a voice, and you should use it for the greater good that makes good in someone else's life. Look for the good things and stand up for it. Join something that's in your school that's worthwhile. Be a part of your school clubs and your activities and have a voice within those activities. And third, the time is always right to do what is right. There's never a bad time to do anything that's right. Use your time wisely. You have the capabilities of working for the good of all people. Don't let anything or anybody get in your way if you believe in your heart that you have a good cause for a betterment in your school or your community or your country. Don't waste your time on things that don't matter. Fourth, life's most persistent and urgent question is, what are you doing for others? Don't be selfish. One of the most rewarding things you can do in your life is to help others who are in need. It's important to reach out and help people when they need you. Step back for a moment and ask yourself today, what are you doing for others right now? Is there something out there that you could do to help someone else? Get them help? And if you do that, you will make their day by offering a helping hand, but most of all, you'll make your own day by helping others. It's a rewarding experience if you help someone else. And fifth, I am not interested in power's sake. Say to yourself, I'm not interested in power for power's sake, but I'm interested in power that is moral, that is right, and that is good. How many of you ever seen bullies? Because bullying is power. There are often people out there who seek power just to be powerful, but no one or have no intention of using that power for any good. The best forms of power are those that are used for greater good. If someone becomes powerful and influential, they should use that power to do good and make a difference in the world. Otherwise, what is the point of having power? And sixth, an individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of the individualistic concerns of the broader concerns of all humanity. And once you begin to think about others more than self and rise above the confines of your own surroundings and begin to think about the broader concerns of all humanity, your life will become more broader in relationships, connections, and success. Don't be all about yourselves. If a man has not discovered the seventh thing, if a man has not discovered something that he will die for, he is fit not to live. You all have things that you are passionate about and that you care about. It should be a goal of yours to find something that you are passionate enough about that you would be willing to die for. Now, when you have feelings this strong, then you have something to live for. Passion is a huge part of your life, and you should try to find that one thing that you're incredibly passionate about so that you can feel like your lives have purpose. Have a purpose. Don't just wake up every day with no purpose. Have something in mind that you have a purpose for. Martin Luther King said the ultimate measure of a man is not where he stands in moments of comfort and convenience, but where he stands at times of challenge and controversy. 8, love is the only force capable of transforming an enemy into a friend. Love one another. It's important to remember that you all are the same and you have come from the same place. As humans, I think we easily forget that we all are brothers and sisters. Really? When someone treats you with hate, the only way to defeat that is to reciprocate with love. But put love and positive vibes out into the world. Feeding hate with more hate is never going to achieve anything. Instead, you should treat all people with love. And number 9, darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, and only love can drive out hate. If you know the golden rule, and I know some of you know the golden rule, but if you don't, maybe you want to Google that and find out what it is. But if you know the golden rule and you believe that thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, there would not be any hate in this world. And just as Buddy Guy was on that video just a minute ago, and he says in skin deep, well then, skin deep is all it is. But we have love. We know that love will drive out hate. And as I look to today and we look at people, we will judge people not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. So look at people's character. And before I leave you today, I know my time was only 14 minutes, but as I leave you today and I stand before you, and I want to say this one thing, Eleanor Roosevelt had a poem that she talked about self. And I want you to listen. Now, some of you out there that are not listening, but listen to this. Many people will walk in and out of your life. Many people will walk in and out of your life, but only true friends will leave footprints in your heart. Now, think about your heart. Your heart is your mind. To handle yourself, use your head. And to handle others, use your heart. Anger is only one letter short of danger. Anger is only one letter short of danger. If someone betrays you once, it is his fault. If he betrays you twice, it is your fault. Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. Small minds discuss people. He who loves money loves much. He who loses a friend loses much more. He who loses faith loses it all. Beautiful young people are accidents of nature, but beautiful old people are works of art. Learn from the mistakes of others, and you can't live long enough to make them all yourself. You brought another friend, and we started our group, our circles of friends, and like a circle, there is no beginning or end. Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery. Today is a gift. And thank you all for having me here today, and it was a pleasure.
As a token of our appreciation.
Thank you.
Quoted from a sermon of Martin Luther King, we must learn to live together as brothers, or perish together as fools. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. This is the interrelated structure of reality. Here to perform for us, You Are So Beautiful, is Miss Kay Cherie Meggs.
You are so beautiful to me. You are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? You're everything I hope for. You're everything I need. You are so beautiful to me. You are so beautiful to me. You are so beautiful to me. Can't you see? You're everything I hope for. Yeah. You're everything I need. You are so beautiful to
King was indeed a visionary. He once stated, "Everything that we see is a shadow cast by that which we do not see." There is a deep-rooted history and culture and expression. Verbalizing that now, members of NASA Staley Hurd, Tyra Hurd, and Ms. Chepko will be on stage.
Sio Kayla Chepko, Dawadoachi Jalagi, Gado Galis Doneski. Hello everyone, my name is Kayla Chepko. I am Cherokee, Choctaw, and San Carlos Apache. I have the best job in the world. I get to help lead our Indian Ed program. And so when I said Gado Galis Doneski, that's Cherokee for how's it going? Going everybody. So today, we are going to speak about the Native American stomp dance. This is just a short summary, and we just wanted to share a few things about it with you. So, what is stomp dance? When we say stomp, it's the English word for ceremonial songs and dance from indigenous people, originally from southeast United States, Yuchi, Cherokee, Muskogee, Creek, and Seminole.
Aiden.
And several of these tribes have different ceremonial grounds. So this timeline I'm talking about here is I gained knowledge from a Yuchi friend of mine, and this is like an example of what the ceremonial ground at this ground would be like. So we have Indian football games, 3 outside stomp dances, 4th dance, arbor dance. This is the opening of the ground. Following Saturday, green corn. It's a day of celebration, and it's the beginning of the new year. It's not like the traditional December New Year. This time is during the summer. And when you know the ground is closing, the people of the ceremonial ground will do a soup dance.
Hello, my name is Tyler Hurd, and I belong to the Seneca Cayuga tribe. Traditionally, the dance occurs outside around the fire, starting in late evening, lasting until sunup the next day, with the exception of daytime greenhorn dance. Some lyrics are from tribal languages and some are vocals. Men sing stomp dance songs in a call and answer format. A leader is chosen for a song, and the other men provide the chorus. For some dances, the male dance leader carries a handheld rattle commonly made from box turtle shells and gourds. Women provide the primary rhythm with shakers worn on their legs, which are traditionally made from turtle shells as well, but may also be made from condensed milk.
Hello, my name is Staley. I belong to the Seneca Cayuga tribe, but all of my tribes are Seneca Cayuga, Wyandotte, Creek, Seminole, and Zapata. Women are often called shellsha. Both my sister and I have our cans on. The ones in my hands are turtle shells. See what they sound like. Attire. Females generally wear a ribbon skirt. Males generally wear ribbon vests, hats, if of age wear feathers, pants that cover whole legs, and boots. Attire is commonly made by family members of the dancers. My skirt was made by my mom. She makes most of our attire.
So now that we have just a short summary of what a stomp dance is like, Indian Ed and the Native American Student Association annually hosts a stomp dance. So I wanted to invite all of you. So it is March 7th, 7 o'clock in the Chieftain Center. One of our host ground is Duck Creek. And there is no word for goodbye in Native languages. We say until next time. So in Cherokee, it's Donadago Ha'i and Osta Igaheda, and that is have a great day. And Wadal, thank you for your time.
After a decade of civil rights struggles, in 1967, Martin Luther King published his last book. Where do we go from here? Chaos or community? Here with a profound acclamation is Miss Gabriella Meigs with Thoughts of Being Black.
It's about that time of year again when black people get their praise. All women, girls, boys, and men have been through that stage of feeling really awkward and feel like they don't fit in. But now we're moving forward, not because of the color of our skin. Give thanks to those who changed a lot back in the past. Garrett A. Morgan arranged traffic lights, which was a blast. Rosa Parks, you mustn't forget the history of the bus. Because of her, they let us sit without a fuss. George T. invented the dryer. They used heat from a stove. Granville Wood with tools and pliers created all the railroads. John Love invented the sharpener in 1897. CB with the street sweepers, and I think that's a legend. There are facts we not know, but out there and it's true. Like Africa discovered banjos, played by them till 1802. Nancy Green, a farmer slave, was faced with Anjaminja, but they wanted to see her cave, so was hit by a car behind her. We all have a dream today. Martin Luther still lives on, and I just don't know what to say. Because of him, we are so strong. We should unite and express all, because in our history lies. And one day we will be successful, because black history is in our eyes.
Ethel Walters pioneered success with blues and jazz. Ella Fitzgerald earned 13 Grammy Awards for her jazz vocals. Now we have our own jazz tour performing Imagine.
September 17, 1849, Harriet Tubman escaped from slavery, the beginning of the Underground Railroad. It was not until April the 20th, 1853. On April the 16th, 1862, slavery was abolished in Washington, D.C. Coming to us now with the poem, Peace to Me, is Miss Dariana Huff.
Peace to Me by Esther Isaiah. When I think of peace, I see myself in a world where I can truly be myself, who I choose to be, where I can just let go and be comfortable with who I am. A world with no hatred, racism, or pain, a world where no one is looked at or judged or criticized, a place with equality and a value of people's lives, a time of joy and togetherness where no one is thought of as good or evil, where creed and color is not looked at as right or wrong, good or bad, where no one is offensive, cruel, or rude, a place that makes it possible to stay in a good mood. When I think of peace, I see a gentle wave lapping up a beach, the smile shared between a mother and her child, the silence, peace, and quiet, the lack of hatred, war, and riots. One day, nations will come together and be as one, just as the Lord wanted it to be. We are all one people put together in one world. When I think of peace, I see a better world for all of us. Thank you.
Martin Luther King possessed many words that provoked laughter, thought, and many words of wisdom. He once said, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope. And in the end, we will remember not the words of our enemies, but the silence of our friends." From our own jazz choir, again we have Miss Lexi Feeback singing "Everybody's Beautiful," accompanied by many beautiful people.
Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world. Red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in His sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. Hey, Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world. Red and yellow, black and white, they are precious in His sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. Everything is beautiful in its own way, like a starry summer night or a snow-covered winter's day. Everybody's beautiful in their own way. Under God's heaven, the world's gonna find their way. Everybody's beautiful in their own way, like a starry summer night or a snow-covered winter's day. Everybody's beautiful in their own way. Under God's heaven, the world's gonna find their way.
Martin Luther King once stated, "We are not makers of history. We are made by history." We may all have come on different ships, but we're in the same boat now. With the presentation at this time from the Mount Olive dancers, Stepping to Stone. Have any of you ever given much thought to how other people see you? Well, now you'll have that opportunity. We're going to have a snippet of a video from Michael Jackson's Man in the Mirror. Appointment where there is not deep love. At the center of nonviolence stands the principle of love. Pausing for a moment, when Martin Luther King stated, "We must use our time creatively," I'm sure that he would agree with this next performance. With a flash from the past, we have Don Cornelius with the Soul Train.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Hip Hop Show of Soul Train. We wish you love, peace, and soul.
All right.
I thought you could never get loose. I thought you could never get loose. I thought you could never get loose. Get loose. Get loose.
All right. Back in March the 23rd, 1996, Marcus Garvey arrived in America from Jamaica, arriving now with a cadence from our own drumline.
Brayden. Get the way.